crafting buddies. It's Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am coming to you on Sunday, October 12th. It is 11:39 p.m. here in Wisconsin. Let me get my devices together here so I can see if anybody joins me. And then I can hopefully keep up on any comments. And let me turn down the volume. Awesome. So, quick announcements. I know I always say they're going to be quick. I'm going to try to make them quick. Sala, how are you? I hope you're feeling better. Whoops. How's that cold? Hopefully you rested up a little bit and feel better. Yeah, for me it's good night, almost morning. So, kids are up, getting ready to go to school for you, right? Awesome. So, quickie cards. I hope your cold is better. But, quickie cards, quickie announcements. I've had a busy day. I actually ended up having a class today that on my calendar was for today, but in my head it was next week. Luckily, I had stuff all ready for it. So, when I got a message that said, okay, we'll see you in a little while, it's like, oh my goodness, I have to clear off my crafting table. So I got a lot of steps in today really quick while I cleared off my table and got ready for them. But we had a good time. They made 6 cards this afternoon, so we just whizzed through a bunch of stuff. So this week, if you're local to me, I have my coffee and a card at Kat's Coffee House. We're going to make a gift card holder. I did this on here as a live not too awful long ago. So we're going to do that. Stampin' Up's got a bunch of new products that released in October. There's 3 new kits that are really fun looking. I should be getting mine this week because I placed my order. Things that are on sale or are going to go bye-bye once they're gone. The last chance products list. Virtual crafting class. If you want information on this, let me know. This will be online October 23rd. The cost of the class is $30. There's a bunch of stuff. So if you want information on that, let me know. And then Paper Pumpkin, the new month has arrived. So we're looking at this November craft tags and gift boxes kit. And there are some add-on dies that are exclusive to Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So let me know if you want information on that. And this join offer. Sala, I so wish you could join and take advantage of this. $90 worth of free product. You get to pick whatever you want. Up to $125. You only pay $35. There's a whole bunch of free stuff. I've put some information in the description that should be down on my YouTube page. Reach out to me if you're interested. Don't miss out. This is like an awesome deal. There's 2 different tiers that you can use. If you've got just a bunch of things you need to get, this one is probably for you. Who can't use $125 worth of stuff for $35? This one's nice. You're still getting $90 worth of free product, but if you want a larger ticket item like a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine or something like that, this is what you'll want to do. So enough of that. 12 days of crafting, Advent calendar. When I see Advent, I think Christmas, right? This is not a Christmas collection. Even though the box looks like Christmas, you can deconstruct this box and use these elements for something else. But the back is just plain and simple with some cloud cover, floral and foliage things. I will eventually deconstruct this, I'm sure. But this is an all occasion kit. So it comes with this stamp set that's got 24 stamps in it. And it is, I know that it's not voluntary. I hope they change that so that we can go to more places. But if you see something you really, really want, we can try to figure out at least purchasing now because we do have the authorization to do that. So, and I don't know how it would work for those online classes either. So, because there's no shipping on that. So that would be cool. but you probably have lots of creative ideas anyway. So this kit is like, I don't know, 10.5 by almost 12, and it's 2 inches thick. So each of these 12 compartments contains fun little things: designer series paper, masks. There were, I have them out already, I think. What was in 6? I finally wrote it down. Oh, the embellishments. I have those out. There's sticky embellishments. There's rhinestone. There's gems. There's memory and more cards. There's 2 sets of dies. So here are the dies that come with this. So this is one set and this is another set. It's just a lot of fun stuff. And I just realized I forgot one little scrap that I think I need for tonight's projects. But there's glitter glue and just a ton of stuff. So we are going to work on project number 6. And I moved over some of my stuff so quick that I almost lost track of it. So project number 6 is this cute little banner. All right, so let me get my box here out of the way, and I'm going to go get a piece of Misty Moonlight, I think is what I need. Because we are going to be doing some little strange looking foliage, I guess. So I printed this out, and let me just see if I can get back to that. So if I need to peek, I do have it a little bit bigger on my computer screen as well. So when I saw this banner, I thought it was adorable, but I'm not real keen on the dull banner pieces. So we're actually going to do our banner pieces in Berry Burst because I think it will be cuter. But I'm not sure exactly what banner die I need to use yet, because the recipes that I'm following from Stampin' Up, we're on the 6th project, the recipes don't give us measurements. It only tells us components. All right, so what we need. And guess what? I'm so excited. There's fussy cutting. So we will figure out what banner die we need in a little bit. But I think first what we're going to do is cut out with the dies this larger piece. So it looks like we're going to do that on white. And I have a bunch of white out. So it looks like I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. And then 3 of the smaller ones that we'll be able to use maybe from the inside, because we're going to make these a frame. Yeah, I think we'll do that. That ought to work. All right, so let's get the, yay for fussy cutting, I know. Let's go ahead and get my Bossy Bessie out here. And I'm just diving right in. I had so much, I had a lot of grand plans after I was done with my class. My granddaughter was still here, so she made one card with us before she was going back out to the park with Papa. But once we got back from that, I had already made dinner earlier today. Before, I actually did that this morning and had it ready. And that was before the gals were coming from my class. So luckily, supper was all ready for us. And then when we got back from taking my granddaughter back to meet her mom, we had dinner quick. And the chickens got to go out and play for just a little bit before it got dark. And then, so here's one. Here's another one. And then I sat down on the couch to read. Hello, Bonnie. And then all of my energy just kind of like fizzled out. And then I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to get stuff going for my live. So I tried to get all of this stuff together quick, and here I am. And I suppose these don't have to be perfect, but I would like them to be close. There we go. That ought to work. How are you today, Bonnie? You were busy sending me pictures of your projects. Bonnie does a lot of 3D items. All right, so this will be for one, this will be for one. And then the rest of them I don't think I need to make into windows. I think I can just make them the squares. Yeah, my granddaughter and I, well, I should say mostly her, she did a video yesterday, but I kept it private because, you know, you never quite know what a 7, almost 8-year-old is going to say. So, oh, your little one lost her first tooth last night. I almost missed that. Do they have the tooth fairy in Finland that comes and gives the kids money for their teeth so they can go back and put it on their castle or whatever it is? She's so proud. That's so fun. All right. So this will be for banner number 1. This will be for banner number 2. This will be for banner number 3. And then it looks like I need another, I do need another window one for banner 4. I guess I miscounted. All right, let's go there. I think that's pretty close. Hey, Juju. We were just talking about Sally's daughter lost her first tooth. All right, and then, okay, I need that. Oh, and I guess I need a couple more. I should have probably just did a head count on how many of these I need. Juju, we get to do fussy cussing tonight. I think it's just a butterfly though. All right, so I need this for the window ones. Where'd my other die go? Oh, it's in my hand. Do you ever do that? You're looking for what you need and you have it right there. Luckily, I've never done that with my glasses. So Bonnie, I might have missed part of the conversation. I'm not sure what dispensers. Is that something from Juju? All right, so let me just go back and do a head count here. I need this. I need 2 in a white. Oh, I guess I only need 1 in the white. 2 in the white. 1. Oh, I might have extras now. Well, that was silly. That's all right. We'll figure it out. Oh, got it. I saw the part where your comments were getting erased or something. I've had things like that happen on mine, and then they pop up, you know, like days later. All right, so then I need this one here. I'm just looking here. So it looks like I have the 2 for this first one. I've got the white in a frame for that one. I've got those 2 for here, another white in a frame. So I just need one more big one. And I guess we're done cutting little postage stamps. Tried like the Post-it temporary tape, and that's even really strong. I still have to put it on my clothes to pick up some fibers and tone down the adhesive. And then this and this for the last one. So I think that's all we need there, and I have a couple of extras now. So be it. And then since I've got the die cutting machine out here, we're going to go ahead and cut a couple of these leaves, because it looks like here we need a leaf here, a leaf here, and a leaf there. So it looks like three leaves. Yeah, I usually use all of my tapes multiple times because they're usually super sticky. Even like my washi tape, I use those several times. So I actually got started a little bit early tonight, I think, by like maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, washi tape does sometimes rip your paper. And I think the older it gets, sometimes the, whoops, sometimes the more tacky it gets. And I think I just lost my die under my table. Hang on, I gotta go get my magnet. All right, well, we might only be having one leaf. I can't tell where it went. I don't know where it dropped. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, I don't know where that bounced, so I guess we're only going to have one leaf for now. I'll have to find that later. I have a mat that, oh, here it is, right on my magnet. I didn't even hear it click. Whew, found it. Usually I can hear it pick it up. I thought we were going to be out of luck for getting the rest of these leaves. I did find a really nice big dust bunny, though. No, it dropped after I took it off of my plate. I had it in my hand to push the piece out of the die, and I dropped the die. I'm trying to make sure to hold on to it this time. And I have a mat from WeatherTech that I stand on because it's nice and cushy. So of course everything bounces. All right, so I think That might be all we're die cutting. Let's take a look. Because these are the sticky embellishments, the puffy ones. This, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to find like, I'm not sure if I have to fussy cut that or not. You want the floral bundle. It's not a Saturday. They'll notify you when it's back available. All right. So I have that leaf. This is an ephemera pack thing. So I think I'm done with the die cutting machine. We'll get that out of the way. Oh no, because I need to do the big banners, don't I? Silly me. All right, so let's figure out the banner I need. So we're going to do it on this berry burst because yeah, I don't use Siri because she's more annoying to me than anything. So we need to use these little things and figure out what banner will work. I think this one. I think this one will end up being. Well, that one would work too. Yeah, let's use this one. We'll go a little bit bigger. Since they don't give us measurements, we have to guess. So I guess we'll get our big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out one more time. And move these over. Hopefully I won't lose any pieces in the process here. And then we can start stamping and stuff pretty soon, I think. Because I only need 5 of these. I guess it would help if I had the machine first. Alright. So what I'm going to do with these is just cut them into banner size pieces because I want to be able to send the feet through first so that I don't have to fight with that straight edge here. And we only need 5 of these. And if your machine ever creaks, don't worry, it's designed to do that because that's just new cuts on your plate. So there's one. Now there was some other paper that I didn't have. This is the Boho Vibes paper, and I don't have that. So I'm just going to use my beautiful bokeh paper. So we'll make do with what I have in my stash. I think beautiful bokeh is still around. I suppose I should have checked, but it's the right color. It's what I needed. So Juju, I didn't ask, how are you today? I don't think I asked. I did not catch any of your lives today. I ended up having a class that I kind of forgot that I had scheduled. And we're down to just one more banner. Little blah, huh? Recovering from a busy week. I think you said you had a busy week last week, right? All right, so I think we're good now. All right, now I think we're done with Bossy Bessie. Well, at least you got a lot accomplished. That's always a good thing, right? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is get some more white, and we're going to stamp a butterfly. And we're going to use the Misty Moonlight for that because I'm looking at this one. And I'm just going to do it all in one color. The other day we did the body with gold embossing, but I don't feel like embossing the body today. All right. I don't know why they didn't give us dies for the butterfly. Oh, and I don't know why I'm doing so many because I only need one. Distracted. All right, so that's all I need for the Misty Moonlight. So let's go ahead and fussy cut this one. I think I'll like the darker one better anyway. So maybe that's why I cut out two. I think I have not as busy a week this week. I only have, I think, a couple of group meetings with Stampin' Up! Online. I have my coffee and a card on Wednesday. And I think that's it. So Tuesday, Thursday, I have little meetings. Oh, tomorrow morning I have a short one too with just another demonstrator and I. We kind of get together and touch base and see what we're up to. Oh, I have a meeting for the college on Thursday night too. I guess I do have kind of a busy week because I have to run that meeting. For CPR stuff. Here, I thought when I retired I would have all kinds of free time on my hands. It's true when people say they're busier when they're retired. Oh my goodness, Juju, you must be running a fever. All right, so we have our butterfly for the first one. We're going to have one of these bows and a piece of foliage for the second one. The third one we're supposed to do out of this crushed curry, like this oval piece, almost like to make a rainbow. I wonder if that rainbow die, it just doesn't seem like it would be big enough. I guess I'm going to have to figure something out here because I don't see anything else to cut that with. Let me see if I've got an oval punch. Of course I have an oval punch. Did you get all your stuff, Bonnie? I don't remember if we talked about that the other day, if your stuff came. And if it did, what paper pumpkin kit did you end up getting? I have forgotten if you said. All right, so that is going to become our little half rainbow, I guess. And we're just going to freeform an oval out of here because that's how theirs looks. We're going to make it a crushed curry rainbow. And then we're going to get a piercing mat and punch some holes in it, I guess. Oh, that's right. You did say that, the Father's Day kit. I remember now. Oh. And this, we need a cupcake for here. I thought we would need some of these embellishments, but we don't. So I'm going to put all these back in the package because I need this piercing mat. Yeah, some of those paper pumpkin kits, and they've gotten better over the years too. I don't know how old that one is. But there have been a couple of the Father's Day ones that I'm just thinking, that is just so not my style. All right, so here's this, and we're just going to do a little bit of piercing. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like polka dots in here, so we're going to go with it, I guess. Maybe. Looks like their holes are a little bigger on there, so maybe I should do that. Well, Bonnie, you're so creative. I'm sure you could have come up with some other ideas, but you know, if you know somebody else who would be happy to use it. You know, most of the kits I can envision other things. And then some of them I just can't. I think I like the kits collection kits better because you can see ahead of time what's in all of those. Paper Pumpkin's been around for quite a long time, and I do subscribe to that. But like I said, the kits have gotten much better over the years, even just the 8 years that I've been subscribing. Just trying to make some of these holes a little bit bigger. All right, so that's going to end up going on this one. And then, yeah, were there any general sentiments, or were they all for Father's Day? Because I've gotten several Father's Day kits over the years, so without seeing some of it. I know there was one that had like a baseball themed like with a badge or a medal and stuff. That one really didn't do anything for me either. But I used some of the elements to make other things. So, so now I need the old olive. I know I have that in here somewhere. Here we go. And we are going to do a white birthday wishes and emboss. So let's get the embossing buddy. Oh, half the stamp said dad or father. Yeah, that's pretty specific. And I'm just tapping a lot on there because I think my Versamark needs to be re-inked. I'm going to, I guess, go here. And I'm always generous with my powder, just because it's not like I'm throwing it away. It's gonna go right back in the container here. All right, so this is another one where that little eye didn't get separated. But no, it's like there's a little piece that I missed. Let's try this again. See if I can do it without brushing off the letter. There we go. All right, I think that's good. So embossing, if you're doing the heat embossing, getting the kit of things might be helpful for you, but I didn't have this for a long time. You basically just need Versamark. The embossing buddy you can only get in the kit now. When I first got my things, the embossing buddy was sold separately. And then of course you need a heat gun. And you need whatever powders. Now, the Wow powders that Stampin' Up! Carries, they come in a 3-pack. So there's white, black, and clear, and then there's, I think, what, silver, gold, and copper, maybe? But Versamark, you need for sure. And then the kit comes with the reverse tweezers, too, that are nice. The brush and the spoon are my separate things. This is just from Hobby Lobby in the art area for painting. But the heat embossing really is a very nice technique. Oh, you got that kit. Well, we can always maybe meet like on a Google Teams or something and just play together too. Yeah, I think the heat guns are all pretty much the same. Stampin' Up's has 2 settings. The low one is just to dry ink, and then the high one is for the embossing powders. And I always heat my paper from the back if it's not too thick, because then I can watch all of the powder melt. So basically that powder is just all kinds of little plastic particles. So when you heat it up, you're just melting it onto the paper. If you heat it too long, then you can melt it right into the paper and then it doesn't shine anymore. You kind of burn it. But when you can see that it's shiny all over, then you know it's done. All right, so we're done with that. We're done with those. We still need this one. And I need to get my Berry Burst ink too. I had forgotten to pull that out because I changed the banner colors because we're going to do the Bright Berry Burst. So let's go ahead and we'll trim this down. Yes, you can use any ink for heat embossing. The Versamark is slow, but I've done it with the regular, like even with this ink. You just have to move maybe a little faster than you might normally want to move. But they all work. Or all the ones that I've used work. hopefully this is straight. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And this edge I know was crooked, that's why I wanted to kind of redo it here. I think we're all right there. All right. So that's going to go for that banner. And then this one, we need another of the branches, and we'll use a puffy embellishment. And then this one, we need to do a cupcake and fussy cuss. That's going to be super easy to fussy cuss because it's just straight. So I need crushed curry and then the berry burst. So we'll do the little cupcake bottom. I love the heat embossing, and my sister-in-law said that when she first saw people stamping, she was someplace where they had, in fact, I wonder if I can do clear on here. We'll see if it adheres. Let me get a spoon. My ink might have dried already. Nope, it still worked. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's much more dull than it was before. So let me just do another one. And that's because I put the clear powder on here. So this is regular ink, and this is just slightly more dull because the clear is on there. And then we'll go ahead and melt it. I think it'll be fun to have the clear on there to just give it some shine. And then the cupcake top in Berry Burst. And we'll add some embossing powder. And again, it looks white in my container here, but it's going to heat clear. And if you don't use an embossing buddy or, yeah, Stella or Bonnie, I've got a bunch of colors too that are either old retired ones from Stampin' Up or ones that I had before, or my mom had, you know, some of the glimmery ones, and like red and some other colors that Stampin' Up doesn't carry now because they just weren't as popular, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and heat this up. So this cupcake top and the cupcake wrapper is just regular ink. I did not use Versamark. The advantage of using Versamark or something like that is just because it dries slower and gives you more opportunity to get the powder on there, okay? All right, so those are done. We're gonna go ahead and fussy cut those. All right, so if there's any dull spots on where you've stamped and put your powder, you need to melt it a little bit more. All right. So let's fussy cuss a little bit more. This will be easy though. Well, I guess I want to do this pretty close, don't I? At least on my sample, it's pretty close because you don't want to see the white popping through from under your frosting, I guess. And we'll do this pretty close too. I guess the only reason why I really don't like to do the fussy cutting is because I feel like it's boring for anybody who's watching to just watch somebody try to cut out those designs. And this is not going to show pretty much here because that frosting will go over it, but So there's our cupcake pieces. So if you've got a stamping block or a stamp pad, you could have just put the top right on top of that. Yeah, well, it's not all glitz and glamour, right, Choo-Choo? All right. And so this is going to go here. And we're going to have another foam piece. Now these are going to be shaker elements. So let me just get some of these stamps wiped off quick. And we still need to do that one. I just wiped that one off and I hadn't stamped anything yet. All right. So then we're going to take these banners. I think that's part of why we're here. We just keep each other company sometimes. All right, so you can maybe not see it from far away, but these have like some tone-on-tone little elements. So I have those already on here, but I'm going to use, instead of the basic beige that I just thought was too boring, we're going to go ahead and just stamp it on the Berry Burst with Berry Burst. And it's just kind of, oh, that didn't work out very well. Maybe I should have it flat. Let's see if I can line that up. That's a little smeared. That's all right. Nobody else will know that I smeared it, right? All right, let's see if I can get this one a little bit better. Maybe I should bring in my piercing mat to give me a little cushion. Because I don't really want to cut another banner if I don't have to. And I guess they did a little bit up above too. And with tone on tone, this as it dries might become a little lighter, which is fine. All right, I think that's that. So we can get this out of the way again. All right, so here's our banner pieces. So the first one, this is going to go on here. This is going to get raised on dimensionals. And our butterfly is going to go on there. And we're going to put a bunch of these puffy embellishments on there. So let's go ahead and start gluing, hey? Well, you know, depending on what you're doing with it. I made a smaller banner for a scrapbook page just to kind of put my granddaughter's name like on banner pieces, 1 letter per each banner. And that can be cute. If you've got like a table set up with, you know, the cake or something, you could have your banner hanging over the cake. I thought about putting like Riley's name on these, but then I would have had to make more banners and I just didn't feel like doing that. And I like it too when the banners, like that card with the banner. Remember that one? Just from a couple of nights ago. We made 2 layers of it for a card and just had the one banner on the front of a card. I thought that was kind of fun. Now they've got the butterfly going out, but I want the butterfly going in. And I've got just a bunch of the little flowers here. So 1, 2, and 3. So that's the first piece. Oh, yeah, I'm going to use a hole punch, I guess, because there are, in these banner dies, there's these like grommet things. I could have put those on here too. I could probably still cut some of those and add them later. All right, so this one's done except for some of the gold embellishments, which are here. So let's do, they've only got 1 on here, which I think is kind of strange. But I'm going to put 1 over here. Well, you could always just use the Allie. You mentioned the other night that you call her Allie. And then have the extra banners. You could have like A and then a random banner, L, a random banner, and the I, if that's how you spell it. I thought it was A-L-I. And then I'm going to find a couple of small ones of those, I think. Where did it go? There it is. And I'm going to put just a couple more little ones on here. If I can get them out of the package. Yeah, because then you can make it as big or as small as you want. I mean, a banner of 3 would be fine. But you could fill it in with, you know, some of her favorite things on the filler banners, you know. I'm sure it'll turn out really cute. All right, so let's do a couple more little random ones here. Just because I like 3. Oh yeah, that could be an issue if you don't have the alphabet dies that are big enough. But that is a pretty long name. All right, so that one's kind of done. I'm going to do the hole punching in the ribbon later. So this one now we're going to make a window. So I need my adhesive strips. And I'm going to put those on the back of here. Oh, Bonnie, that's a good idea, yeah. I do that from time to time too, like for the wedding card I recently made. I found a font because I didn't have stamps with the lettering that kind of matched their invitations. So I found a font that was pretty close and I printed it on my cardstock. And then die cut it from there. So that works too. Good reminder, Bonnie. Sometimes we get so set in what we're doing and what products we've been using, you forget about some simple solutions. So this is going to have a bunch of these gold elements in it. Oh, I guess it would help if I had my window sheet. I'm like, why are these like moving around? I need my window sheet first, don't I? All right, so let's try this again. So my window sheet, we'll just act like I had my act together there. My window sheet is going to go here. And there. You found some pictures off the internet. You know, it works. It definitely works. So I should probably check a size on this. So this is, I think, 2 by 2. All right, so now with these strips, I'm going to go ahead and put, I still did this wrong. I should have put my window sheet on first. Boy, I'm just all over the board today. Well, let me think what I want to do here. We're going to peel this stuff off because I need my window sheet on first. Well, let's just put this on here. I just was not thinking about window sheets. Don't be me. I should have put my window sheet on first. And then the strips. Because this has to go like this. But I think what I'll do is, I had another frame. We'll just make it double high. Nobody will ever know. All right, that's what we're gonna do. It'll be fun. I guess it'll be fun. So now we're gonna do some more. I'm just gonna do this over since I have extra ones. Disregard. All right, what do I wanna do? I wanna get my, no shame. Yeah, if you steal off the internet, that's fine. Yep. So these are pretty narrow. I want my window sheet on here, so we're just going to fold back some of the adhesive onto itself with that postage stamp design. All right, so sometimes it's a struggle. Yeah, you do what you gotta do, right? Well, and I don't like using the liquid glue for my window sheets because to me it takes too long to set. Now I know Bonnie will tell me I could use my glue gun, and I could, but then I'd also have to go get it and heat it up, and I just don't think that's going to happen today. We'll figure it out. At least I had an extra frame piece, right? All right, so now I'm ready for my window sheet. Almost. All right. window sheet. Let's see if I can reuse this one. I just have to take some of this off. Well, you have to be careful with some of that stuff to make sure it's not copyrighted because you don't want to get in trouble, right? All right, let's go. 2x2 window sheets. All right, so now this can go on here because I've got the adhesive. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot on Pinterest actually. But I would not be comfortable with just taking stuff off of there. All right, so let's try this again. We'll just act like I didn't do the last one wrong. All right, so I have my window sheet down now. Now I'm going to put my adhesive strips. And now we'll be able to add the elements. And we'll be good. All right, so now I can take all of these little pieces and put them in here. That was a lot of effort for this. Whoops. There's a little white piece of adhesive, but it's on the outside. There we go. All right. And then I need this piece. You can peel these off. Careful not to spill. And right on top. Whew. All right. And then I got some adhesive on here from my silicone mat. All right, that's all good. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way here. So now this is going to go here. So we'll get some glue and glue this on. At least now I'm warmed up for the second window element, right? I'm trying to see because it's just a little shadowed, so I'm going to go this way. Let's see if that's about the right. That's pretty good. All right, and then we need this little foliage piece. And that's going to just come up here. And a bow. And those are all puffy, so those are really cute. All right, so that's banner piece number 2. Banner piece number 3 is that rainbow element. Where did that go? Hopefully I didn't lose it. I probably did. With my little paper piercing thing. Oh, here it is. Phew. All right, and this is going on the 4th one. This is for the 5th one. That's why I had them messed up a little bit. All right, so this one will come here. Kind of a quiet night tonight. Is everybody crafting or just kind of chilling? Chillaxing. Hello, origami girl. Welcome. Yep, we're doing a banner. We're partway through. The second little banner was a little bit of a struggle because I did my shaker element poorly. Recovered though. All right, and then here, we can go ahead and put dimensionals on the ends here. I have a lot of mail that I have to get out. I keep thinking, oh, I'll focus on that tomorrow, and tomorrow never seems to come. Yeah, a little shaker element on them is kind of fun. But because it's, you know, like going on 1 in the morning where I'm at, I kind of didn't do a good job. Mine is not going to look quite like this. They did their banner thinner than I did. Maybe I should make that a little thinner. I'll move these. Yeah, that's a hard one, Sala. I tend to not have a filter with some of that kind of stuff. And I'll just say kind of like, well, in my experience, I've done this, or I find it's, for me, better to do whatever, and then they can do with it what they want. But you don't want all kinds of people, you know, basically stealing content either, you know. Oh, I do kind of like that better that way. A little thinner. That looks pretty good. And then we'll put a little cupcake on here. I'm going to move that down just a little bit. And we'll put a cupcake right here. I guess I made my little banner a little bigger because it, or my the rainbow piece, because they've got white showing behind there, but I'm fine with that. And then here we're going to do another shaker element. So let's see if I can do it right this time. All right. First off, tear and tape. Yeah, definitely not if you're going to be gifting or selling. You know, if you change it up, obviously it would work, but when you're printing stuff right off of another page, exactly, because it's stealing. When you design your own stuff and you sell it, I mean, it's one thing if you're giving it away free and somebody just shares it, that's fine, but not when you've got it out there for purchase. And I don't know how to go through the steps to like copyright your stuff. So then people can be fined if they do it, if they get caught. I know with the Stampin' Up stuff, if we sell any of our cards or projects, there is what they call the angel policy, where you have to have copyright Stampin' Up on your items that you sell. If you're just giving them away, then it doesn't matter. You know, you've written it and it's not like somebody's going to go and sell it. All right, so there's that. So origami, what were you up to for your weekend? Anything exciting? Another window sheet that's 2x2. So shakers are a little easier if you've got a thicker frame. So what I did with my frame, if you go back, you can watch what I did wrong on this first box, because I did my my foam strip earlier than I should have. So on my top piece, I'm going to go ahead and put my window sheet. So I'm just using a flat adhesive. I like either the seal or the tear and tape. And what I was doing is going around here, and because this is like shaped, I don't want my tear and tape to hang out over the edges. But then I'm just taking my window sheet and I'm putting it right on top of that adhesive. All right. So there's my adhesive. Now, if you're using like a glitter, you will probably want to try to use like maybe a dryer sheet or something to remove some of the static from your window sheet so that your glitter sits nicer. And then we're going to take our adhesive strips and now we're going to lay these down and make a box. So when I'm looking for images, I usually type in the word free. Not that that always gets me things that aren't copyrighted. But usually what I'm looking for is something from just like maybe I want to add an image to a calendar or something that I'm just going to display. I don't do it for anything that I sell. So these adhesive strips, I'm just using the last bits of one of my sheets here, but they come long. And then we just need one more little strip here, so about so long. So then you're just going to create a box like a trough, so it's going to be raised up on all the sides. I need to trim just a little bit off of here, especially if you're using something like glitter. I've seen people do like bird cards with bird seed. You want to make sure that there's no gaps where your elements can fall out. All right. So then I'm going to take some more of my little gold things here, and we're just going to pour them in there, however many I want. And then when I take the backing off of my adhesive strips, my foam adhesive strips, you can also use the framing for your dimensional sheets. That works too, but I like these foam strips just because they're narrow. And it fits a lot of different applications. All right, I have one piece that kind of fell out here. And then we'll take what is going to end up being on the front. So let's say you wanted to have a design show through. Like, what if I wanted to do a butterfly? Let's do a butterfly just for kicks. I love making shaker cards too when I'm paying attention and do them right the first time. So I'm going to take this butterfly and I'm going to just stamp it. Whoops. I stuck to my piece, so that's, you got to be careful that you don't spill all your things. Do what I say, not what I do, right? All right. So when you've got your whatever piece you're going to have showing through, we're going to put this one going this way. Oh, I forgot tomorrow was a holiday. Oh, thanks for that reminder. Yeah, we have Columbus Day in the United States. All right, so now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put it on those adhesive strips because I already took the backing off. And now I have my element. All right. And that then I'm going to attach to my banner piece. Now, if you were making a shaker card like right on here, let's say I had already stamped, I could put my foam sheets here, and if I was going to put like another framed piece, like this piece, right on top, you could put your elements right on your card and then put your frame piece on top. But you have to also make sure that you've got everything kind of measured so that you don't have anything peeking out from the back or a little hole for your elements to fall out. Does that make sense? I'll call you AG Origami Girl. All right, so there's that. Oh, Thanksgiving in Canada. I probably have that written down somewhere, quite honestly, because I have some Canadian friends. All right, so that's there. And this little window element, they suggested to have that foliage piece on there. But because I've got the butterfly and all of those, I don't know if I want to even put this on there. Because then it's suggesting a bow also. but maybe I will. Absolutely. Shaker cards are fun, and you know, if you haven't done them for a while, I can't remember. It's been quite a bit. You know, it's not like I make them every week. I just kind of forgot what I was doing there. So if you go back and see that one, you'll see, and I'll explain what I did wrong. But it was not a catastrophe. All right, and then we want another bow. So this is little puffy ones. All right, so there's all of that. And then we're on the last one, which is going to be our cupcake. Yeah, if people are going to steal, they're going to steal. All right, so this one I'm just going to glue on here because this is the one with the cupcake. So we've got 2 layers. The bottom layer is just going to get glued on. And then this one's going to go up on dimensionals. Just for some depth. Yeah, there's a lot of people that figure, oh, it's on the internet, it's free. And they won't understand unless they get to the point where they're making things and then wonder why people are using their intellect. Because that's basically what it is. Yeah, I worked for a criminal court system for a long time, and unfortunately, the people that are gonna do those things, you can't make them stop. Even sending them to jail doesn't make them stop. So this is gonna go here. So we'll put this right about there. And I'm gonna put this on dimensionals too. Because it's not like my banner is going to get mailed, so I don't care really how thick it gets. You know, if it's too thick, you know, 2 layers thick from dimensionals, I'm all right with that. And this one is. And then this one is looking for a little strawberry puff embellishment, so that's going to go there. I'm just going to put my tweezers behind there so that I can push that on. And then to finish this off, we need to add some twine and turn it into a banner, right? I mean, I could turn it into a series of cards, I suppose, but oh, I guess I didn't have the slit. I usually put a slit in these. This is the first I've had these opened. And there should be a second sheet of those somewhere, I thought. All right, so let me just get a hole punch. And we're just going to start going in the corners here. I wish there was a better way for me to line them up. I'm not very good at lining up my hole punch. That's a little bit better. Temu is like the worst. And my understanding is Temu is China-based. They steal, even Stampin' Up! Has a big problem with Temu with dies and stamps. So they'll take the dies and they'll make them pretty much exactly the same design, only smaller. So we actually had a team swap where one of my sidelines had done a card using a die set that she got with Temu. And when we went to recreate it, like my mother bought the die set because she thought it was so cute, we couldn't get everything to line up. And then it occurred to me to measure it up because it's like, it doesn't fit the same. What's going on? Well, it turns out she bought her die set from Temu because the way I understand it is what they're doing is pricing their stuff so low, but the quality is low. And then their goal is to put the United States companies out of business or other companies out of business, and then they'll jack their prices up. So when, the market here can no longer compete because the other items are so cheap, they'll go out of business and then Temu can take over. All right, so the next little element here is to use some twine to make our banner. So I'm just going to fold this like this now. So this actually shows both colors of the twine because it comes with the Flirty Flamingo and the Misty Moonlight. But I'm not, the Flirty Flamingo just doesn't seem like it's a good color for me, but I do have the Misty Moonlight here. So we're going to go ahead and just do a couple of layers of the Misty Moonlight. Oh, and I guess we can just pull this through here. I do have a hole in my little baggie here. So I want to give myself enough room to tie it to whatever I'm going to go to. And we're going to thread this through. Hopefully it'll work good. Maybe. You are welcome. I may have to get my needle threader. I should have some fine tip tweezers. Oh, there we go. I have a darning needle upstairs. Oh, actually, I do have a little needle here. This should work. I forgot I had it on my little magnet. Of course, it's too thick to comply like normally I would thread a needle. Well, and the nice thing about watching stuff online too is that, oh, for heaven's sakes, I may have to start over with the uncut. Oh, I don't think that's going to matter. The eye of my needle is just too narrow. The nice thing about doing the videos like this is that, when we're having a conversation and other people can give some input, like the darning needle. That would be a great idea if I would have planned ahead. I'm getting it here. There, we got it. All right. I could have had the whole thing done by now, but, it's the idea. We're getting the darning needle off. Darn it. Oh, and that's something with Riley's video she did yesterday. She was, that girl sometimes, she was doing something and she felt like she messed up and she's like, dang it. I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should edit that out of there. But it's not like she swore. Just having a 7-year-old say, dang it. I may just leave it in there. Either that or I just might not post it. She won't realize that it's not posted. Yeah, I need to bring a crochet hook in here too, because one of the cards I did with the Sunrise Sailing set, I did like a chain stitch with some baker's twine, and it would have been so much faster if I'd had my crochet hook. So here is our little banner. Now let me unthread my needle. There we go. So now in retrospect, I wish I would have stamped something inside that one, but it's cute. But we've got the couple of butterflies on there, so that's cute. So the artisan version and the Late Night Lori version. Yeah, you've seen those little memes that say, oh, how does it go? Where the crafter says, well, I can fit all my crafting supplies in a box, and the husband says, stop calling our house a box. So I did have to export some of my things to like our living room because I had folks coming over today. My crafting table was just filled with stuff. So I think what I would want to do, and I will probably do this, is I'll do it later. Maybe I'll post a picture with it. I'm going to create the bigger banner size in white, and I'm going to rethread it with a double layer banner under here because I think it'll just look nicer with it framed, don't you think? Let me just do one for kicks. And then I think what I'll do also is punch out these grommets and put the grommets on there on each of the banners, and that'll give it a more polished look also. I can do 8 of those at a time. And then let's see if we've got, if we do this one in white, I think I have another piece of white here. It's not quite big enough. I'm just going to cut one out and we can kind of see how it looks. Or I could do a different color, like I could do Misty Moonlight maybe. Well, how old is your daughter, Bonnie? Maybe she just needs to craft with you and then it won't be so foreign. So should I do Misty Moonlight or should I do white for a layered? Maybe I should just cut one of each and we can kind of see. So she paints. Well, then she should understand the importance of having crafting stuff in whatever room you're in. All right, so I'm just going to put my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back here. And we will do a Misty Moonlight. And see, I think that just sets it off, don't you? That's funny, Sala. Yeah, I can appreciate that. Yeah, I think the blue looks good. I think the white might just make it look a little stark. All right, so here's one with the white. I like the blue much better. It gives it a warmer look. I think the blue looks better. Definitely looks better. Although I could do blue, white, blue, white, blue. And then I think I'll just do the grommets. Maybe I should do the grommets in blue too. Oh, I could do them in gold. Oh, that's a good idea. I had a piece of gold out here too. The gold is a good idea. So maybe I should do every other one. Well, it does say birthday wishes on it. But I could change it. I could print off something that says, you know, this is my happy place. I'm gonna die cut these in gold. Whoops. They're coming. All right. Yeah, that would be cute. So those could go there. I kind of like them in gold because of the gold elements there. I think that's a good idea. So I'll string these on here, of course. I'll do it the right way. I'll take it all apart. We'll do it the right way. This will be fun. Thanks for the suggestion of gold. I think that's a good idea. And it blings it up a little bit more. And I could probably splash some Wink of Stella on there. So I just need 2 more little grommets. Because luckily, you can cut out 8 all at once. All right, I'm gonna do white and blue. We're gonna compromise. We're gonna do alternating. Blue, white, blue, white, blue. I think will work. And then I'll do one more set of grommets here. See if I can get this out of the same little scrap. All right, very cool. So this one will come here. I'll feed those through. All right, I can put those back. Yeah, I think every other one is going to look good. I think that'll work. See, collaboration. I mean, even these little dots from the center of the grommets, if I was patient enough, I could use those as little embellishments even. Whoops. The blue is going to go here. I lost a grommet, but it's got to be here somewhere. It's under there. That would make a cute journal topper, wouldn't it? All right, it's coming together. All right, so I will post pictures of the finished one later with it all put together, with the grommets in place. That's a good idea to use your Christmas cards. To make a banner. That's a fun idea. Very fun idea. So that's not taking long. I like it. There's my other grommet. Yeah, there's a lot of good suggestions in here. I learned stuff from you guys. Things that I might not have tried otherwise. I'm just gonna go get one more piece of Misty Moonlight. And then I think I will have all of my pieces together for this one. All right, last one. There we go. I like the banner pieces framed out rather than plain. I think that really makes it. I think we did that on the card too, because I think I added a frame layer. There we go. All right. I think ours looks pretty darn good. What do you think? Hello, Tanya. Oh, thanks for the hearts, everybody. I like seeing those pop along the page. That's fun. Thank you, Sala. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with the basic beige. But I do think, I agree with you, Bonnie. I think that every other one just gives a little more, I don't know, a little more whimsical look to it. Oh, and here's my other page of my, I knew there was another sheet of these puff elements. So let's see what's on the docket for tomorrow. So let me get my pen. So we did the banner. So this is project number 6 from the recipes. Bonnie, you found those recipes, right? Juju, did you even look for the recipes? I know you weren't at a computer last night. So tomorrow then, so Tanya, you came in late, and Origami Girl, I don't know if you realize, this is from the 12 Days of Craftin' Advent Calendar Collection. And it's a big box. It's just got a ton of stuff in it. There's 12 different days that have dies and paper and embellishments and glitter glue and ephemera pieces and baker's twine. What am I missing? Masks, decorative masks and a brush. It comes with a stamp set. The stamp set is here somewhere. I'm about to have a craft-a-lanch. Was that the term we used when we were going to have all of our crafting supplies tip over? So this is a stamp set that comes with it. There's 25 stamps in there. And then to make some of these projects, we just have to add a few extra little things. So tomorrow we're looking at this one. This might be pretty quick because this is going to use the decorative masks. Stampin' Up! Recipes versus Juju episodes. Yep. And then I don't know if we'll get to 2 on the next one or not. But this one looks like it could be pretty easy too, although well, it doesn't say there's fussy cutting. So that's die cuts for the flowers. This is just masking and layers. So these should be pretty easy. I'll try to get them prepped early so I've got everything ready to go. But that's a wrap. Thank you everybody for popping in. I appreciate the company. I appreciate the suggestions and tips. Good times, right? So I think it's just a few of us still watching. Who's on now? Pam's on now, right? Who's going over to see Pam? Thanks, Juju. But I'll get these all put together. I'll put pictures on my Facebook page. Yes, you're a help. Sally, you're funny. All right. Very cool. So that's all I have, ladies. I don't know if you've heard my stomach growling, but, you know, it's 1:30 in the morning here, and I apparently need to eat. So Juju head to bed. So you're going to bed. Awesome. Well, rest easy, ladies. Sala, enjoy your day. Tanya, thanks for popping in. And I don't know if Origami Girl is still here, but we're heading out. So oh, you are still here. So thanks for popping in. I appreciate the company. And until next time, happy crafting.